Today we are going to focus on important details in our story, Robots Go to School. Let's read the directions. Close reading purpose. After reading Robots Go to School, annotate the text to find the important details, then complete the chart. So first it says let's do paragraph 1, and we're going to split up the important details from the unimportant details. Here's paragraph 1. Robots go to school. It's a school morning. Drew wakes up and gets dressed. He eats breakfast. But instead of getting on the school bus, he turns on his computer. Drew stays home and sends his robot to school. So now it's our job to pick out what's important in that paragraph and what's not. One thing that I think is very important in paragraph 1 is that it was a school morning, but instead of riding the bus to school, Drew stayed home and sent his robot to school. So I'll say, it was a school morning, but Drew stayed home and sent his robot to school. What are some unimportant details in that story, or in that paragraph rather? Again, it says, it's a school morning, Drew wakes up and gets dressed. He eats breakfast, but instead of getting on the school bus, he turns on his computer. Drew stays home and sends his robot to school. I think some unimportant details could be that Drew wakes up and gets dressed, and he eats breakfast. Drew wakes up, gets dressed, and eats breakfast. The reason that these details are unimportant is because it's not going along with the main idea of the text. The main idea of the text is the robot. None of this mentions the robot. It's just extra. Let's read paragraph 2. Paragraph 2. This isn't a day in the future. It's not a scene from a movie. For Drew, it's just a regular school day. So, what's important about this is that it's a regular school day. There's nothing crazy going on. It's just like any other day. What's unimportant is that it's not in the future. Or from a movie. Again, this is just extra because it's not telling you what it actually is about. It's saying that it is a regular school day. It's a regular school day that's when the robot is sent to school. It's not from the future, from a movie, but that doesn't really matter. It's not really adding to what we're trying to learn about. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to read paragraph 3 on your own. And I would love for you to write down some important details from paragraph 3, as well as some unimportant details. I will do this part with you together, parts A and B. Whoops. It says, this question has 2 parts. First, answer part A, then part B. We'll do part A first. Part A. What is the main topic of paragraph 5? Robots A. Robots help some kids do typical things in school. B. Robots wear clothes. Or C. Teachers like robots. It's not that important in paragraph 5 that robots can wear clothes. That's not really adding about how robots help with school. And teachers liking robots doesn't really matter because it's just an added detail. So I'm going to choose A. Robots help some kids do typical things in school because that's the purpose of the robot. It's to help children in school. Children like you. Let's do part B. Which detail supports the answer in part A? A. Instead, they just see their friend. B, the other children think school robots are special too. Or C, teachers can even give classroom jobs to children at home. A, I don't think it is, because that's not really giving us good information. Instead, they just see their friend. It doesn't support what's happening in Part A. Remember, Part A, robots help some kids do typical things in school. So I'm not going to choose A. That just doesn't make sense. B, the other children think school robots are special too. Well, even though teachers think that school robots are special, it's not really important to our story, so I'm not going to choose B either, because it doesn't matter what the children think about the robot. So that leaves us with C. Teachers can even give classroom jobs to children at home. That supports A in Part A. Robots help some kids do typical things in school. Teachers can even give classroom jobs to children at home with their robot. So I'm going to choose C.